And when we were over there, we stayed in Spokane. We stayed at the historic Davenport, with all the ghosts and stuff. So that was really cool.
That's what my husband wants to take me there because he knows I love that. So yeah.
Oh,
So you loved it?
oh yeah. And
Yeah.
we stayed, I'm a member of Marriott and it's owned by Marriott now. And they put us in room 1005. They upgraded us to a suite and 1005. And right upstairs in 1105 is where a couple died. The man died, and then a year later, she came and stayed in the same room, and she died that night.
Wow.
Yeah, you have to go online. If you go online and look for the haunting of the Davenport Hotel or
Yeah.
something, there's videos and there's all sorts of information. And then another woman she had gone out on this little walkway and had stepped off and went through the glass ceiling and dropped 30, 40 feet. And of course she died a few minutes. She lived for a few minutes and then she died. um, but again, another ghost, and I don't know. There's some kind of interesting stuff going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
So, but you can learn. You can see all of the information on the web. They they talk to you about all the characters and who they were and what happened to them and all
yeah.
of that.
That's one thing that, and I just went with Daily Ohm and they have like daily exercises to speak to ghosts. And it's not that I want to do mediumship really for anybody, but I personally like to know what's going on around me. You know what I mean? And
Right.
why I'm sensing different things. But ever since I started letting some things go, I let this uh, commitment. It was a year-long commitment that I've done for the last couple of years. I finally let that go. I let a few other things go in my life, and and the thing about it is when you let those things go, it's like all of a sudden I was in one of my studios and I seen a vision of a woman standing there, and she kept showing me her daughter, and it was just like I was like, well, why would I picture her? And so it's like there's no questioning.
Yeah.
Uh, you I just yeah, so I want to communicate, but I don't want to do it for anybody except for my own purposes, I guess.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Be-
Yeah. Fascinating stuff.
yeah. Okay, that might have to be my Christmas gift then. For my
Oh, that
husband.
would be so cool to go over there and spend a night or two.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a
So,
beautiful hotel. It
yeah.
really is. It's
Yeah.
stunning.
That's what
Um,
my husband says. He says it's stunning. There's another place over your way or maybe around that area that is supposed to be the hauntedest town in Washington State.
where is that? In Port
I don't know.
Townsend or?
I'll have to ask him, but I'll send you a message. I did do the goat trail, the Iron Horse Trail, and that has quite, if you like a good walkabout, that has quite a good energy. And there's a few sections that you're just like, I didn't quite understand what I was feeling, but I knew that there was something going on in that area. And it's yeah, a
Huh.
lot of people lost their lives on that trail, and yeah.
Is that in Washington?
Yeah, yeah. What happened was the train was coming through and an avalanche came through at the same time. And
Oh,
they were left, it was way back in the day, and they were left to go and try to find their way out. And so, yeah, it's Iron Horse Trail, but it's up on Snohomish Pass. But it's a pretty good walkabout, but it's nothing, no hill climbs or anything like that.
huh.
But it's one I definitely want to do again. You hit this one area and there was so many little butterflies in this one section,
Wow.
and, and they would come up and they'd flutter in your face, and then I just got this present of like souls, like this
Hmm.
souls. We're here to protect the souls. And it was just I was just listening to messages and downloads and stuff like that, and it was like, so it was kind of beautiful. um
Very cool.
my husband would check in with me. He's like, "Well, what do you sense now?" Because I'm a whole new experience for him. So
Yeah, right.
not many people can handle the mind. So
Yeah, we did a ghost busting over in Port Townsend
maybe
at
that was it.
what?
Maybe that was the place that he was talking about.
Yeah, it's over on the peninsula, and it's an old, um, I don't know, they call it a castle or some kind of old residence or something. And then they turned it into a hotel. But we were there and I could hear somebody screaming in my ear. And there were a whole group of us. And when I said it, then Robin told me, he said, yeah, that's the woman. She's really upset and she's screaming. And it's like, oh, I know.
Oh
Um,
gosh.
but then we were able to release her from there. But that one is really haunted as well. So it's fun stuff.
I want to do that one too then.
Uh-huh. Yeah, it's fun. You can stay there. Actually, you can stay in the room where we did the ghost busting, and it's more like a suite with a bedroom and then a sitting area. And around the sitting area is a big round space. On one of the turrets. It's one of the levels of the turret, and you can actually stay in the that room.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
That'd be
yeah,
very cool. Yeah. When it comes to all this stuff, my biggest thing is I gotta get out of my way.
we all
I
do.
got out of my way.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's usually just us that's blocking it.
Yep, yep. And I realize that, and if I could just like relax and just say, okay, well that's there.
Right.
It's like I was clearing this room because I was doing a past life regression. I finally got some people interested in that kind of stuff. Weirdly, because I got downtime, I could throw that energy out. But I was clearing this room and I felt a presence at the door. And as I'm clearing the room and building my walls and um, warding the place, and then all of a sudden it's like I would not turn my back to the door. It was just,
Uh-huh.
it was, and then I finally said, "You stay out there, and I'll talk to you later." It was interesting, but so I find myself, we call it having business meetings because the boys will catch me every once in a while doing my thing, but my boys is two of the massage therapists that work here. So,
Uh-huh.
um, so,
So
but
is that an old building? Is that in the Industry 3 building?
Industry three, did you feel a presence in there?
I wasn't paying attention. It was a
Yeah.
very cool space, though.
Yeah, there's this back area that whenever I walked back there, I was like, there is something back here. And I learned this clearing, and, with dragon's blood and selenite, to box it in and move it out. And, building vortexes with selenite. And I learned this method of clearing and I got to go in and do it. But because I'm so new at clearing, I need to find someone that has my back. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
That can help me hold energy and just because I'll get excited. I know me. I'll get excited and I'll drop my bubble, or whatever.
Right.
And then I feel this, and then I'm like, what's that? But I just that building. There's this back area, and there's just something eerie back there that
Why don't we do that for our session today and go see what's in there? Like
oh
you
well,
put it in your mind. You don't have to be in the location
okay, yeah, that would be fun.
if you want to. Because I would suggest when you're doing that kind of work is to communicate with those entities, um, ghosts or whatever they are, find out who they are and what they're doing there, and you know maybe be of service in a way. I mean, most of the time they're not there maliciously. They can be, or they could be there just by default, but then somehow be acting maliciously, either out of jealousy or this was my house, you're intruding, that kind of thing. But it's good to find out what is like what is their motivation, and then
Yeah.
also to usher them away in a way that isn't hostile and that they're comfortable with, so then they stay away, and it's not a constant battle.
Yeah, yeah. Well, we have Industry 3, that creepy area, but like I said, there was definitely a presence in here too. So
Uh,
if you want to act with immediate environment,
you can do
there's
that as well.
that as well. And then at my SO Wenatchee, my Screaming Octopus Wenatchee was where that woman was. And the building is just this old building. It was built before the Metro building or before the Industry 3, I think. And it was where the railroaders used to stay.
Ah,
And the woman that I had the encounter with, she told me she was a cook, and I asked her the daughter, about the daughter because she kept showing me the daughter, and I said, well, where's the father? And she just kept pointing to the railroad, and then there was a mention of rape, and so it was kind of cool how the story unfolded in my head that so she was raped, but she tells everybody that her husband's off on the railroad somewhere. It was just it was interesting. So
yeah.
I have three people or three things. I don't,
Yeah.
it's
Three
that door right
situations
there.
over there.
Yeah. So yeah,
Okay.
whatever is going to benefit you in your for your class. Yeah, whatever you want to do.
Let's look at the
I have a
entity.
book.
Yeah, if you were going to do the one in your location there, you could turn the camera just slightly so that we can kind of look at the door while you're working. Yeah, if that's the area, do you think that's where they kind of maintain or it?
Well, when I was doing my clearing and building my firewalls and doing all the fun stuff that we do before a session, especially a past life session, because you never know what you're going to come across. There was just this darkness, a figure, and I caught it out of the corner of my eye, as we do, right?
Yeah.
and and immediately I said, "You stay there. You don't enter this room for an hour."
Uh,
And yeah, and I just but then after that, wandering through my studio, I got a little eeried out, and I'm like, "You cannot have fear when you're doing this work." You
yeah.
just can't. So I immediately collected myself, gathered my things, shut off the light, got to my car, and just took a deep breath and said, okay, you're going to re-enter this space, and you're not going to agree to anything that's going on in the space next time, because that's one of the things, every time you cross a threshold, you have to say, I don't agree. I don't agree. I don't agree with what, until you get the area cleared. But yeah, I definitely, there was something here, but this is the thing. And I'm wondering if it's, the person that owned this building actually passed away. And it was sudden, and it was up at his house. But when it came time to, his sister now took over the building. And when it came time and she was so devastated, that was her only family, that was her last. And they talked every day, 3 times a day. And she couldn't take herself up to collect the ashes. And so, and I adored John. And so I went and I collected the ashes, and I still have them here because
Oh,
I'm not going to dump them without her, but it's been several years, and I want to make sure that she's ready and that we can go together, and do this. But, yeah, I still have the ashes here, and I talk to him all the time, just
okay.
because, I
And do you
feel,
think that's who this is?
I don't know. And if it is, it's sad. He died very suddenly. They didn't know. They went up to his house, and because she was doing her morning call, and he was, the door to the house was open, and he was laying there dead. Yeah. Yeah.
Hmm.
So, he wasn't very healthy, and we were always trying to say, well, maybe you should quit smoking, or maybe you should, but he was doing everything he thought he could do. And but truthfully, who knows? Because I've been doing energy work. I've been doing past life regret. I've been doing a lot of stuff in this room, and I know things get stirred up. And so who
Mhm.
knows that? I mean, this is kind of an old building as well. Not really old, I would guess maybe 60s, 70s, but that's still significant time to collect negative energy.
And it can
And
be anywhere.
also, with all the massages and the work that I do, energy, collect poltergeist. Maybe it was a poltergeist, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
So,
Yeah.
just exploring. I don't know, wherever you want to go. I'm playful today,
Okay.
obviously. So don't make me cry. No, just
Okay, good.
make it fun, Mary.
Well, we can start with this one and see if we see something, and then we can move to the other locations also to see what's there, just depending on our time. I want to keep this like to an hour, so
Sure.
it's not long for people to watch it. But let's get started. So, are you
Okay.
ready? Can you get comfy?
All right.
So take a nice deep breath, close your eyes, and just begin to relax, relaxing your toes and your feet, your ankles and your calves, your knees and your thighs, relaxing your stomach and your chest and your breathing, allowing your breath to find its own natural pace, relaxing your back, your shoulders, your arms, your hands, and your fingers. Just allowing yourself to release any tension, clearing your mind, and turning your thoughts inward to do some really nice inside work today. And I invite you to imagine your favorite safe space, that place of relaxation, protection, and connection. And as you find yourself in your safe space today, how would you describe your safe space to me?
It's in the back of my studio, in the studio I'm in right now, and it's it's got two couches back there and a plant. But I have this beautiful window that you can see the mountains pretty much from end to end, and um, from Saddle Rock to going up the valley towards the passes. Um, you can see the weather coming in. Um, it's very relaxing. It's kind of where I sneak off to when no one's here with a cup of tea.
Ah, nice. So as you find yourself in that space now, just relaxing into that energy, you look around and you realize that there is a special gift, an object that has been left there for you, a gift of empowerment to bring you certain traits and characteristics that will be so valuable for you today. And as you find this gift, what is it?
Uh, I got brought back because I know everything that's back there, to the keys to the basement. It's just it's a gift of trust in between all of us here. We all have access to each other's spaces, and um, so those keys are kind of I don't know, a sign of trust to me.
Okay. It's the keys to what you said?
The basement here at my studio.
Oh, the basement. Okay.
This mhm,
Okay.
it's someone else's business.
Uh-huh. Okay. And so taking these keys in your hands, and I know that this represents a level of trust for you. Is there any other magical energy that these keys bring to you today? Do they hold any other special power?
Um, the word openness came to me. Um, doors opening. Holding the key. So openness, I think, would be the other word for that.
Okay. All right. So holding these keys, you begin to meditate, allowing yourself to go into the deepest state of meditation you would enjoy experiencing today. And as you go deeper and deeper throughout this session, and as I count from 3 to 1 now, you'll find yourself teleported to a sacred healing space. 3, 2, 1. And as you find yourself in this sacred healing space, how would you describe this to me?
Up on top of the mountains, on one of our mountains, we have a hiking trail that's pretty frequented. It's Saddle Rock, and it overlooks our valley here. And at the crack of dawn, if you start the climb, it's just peaceful. And once you get there, the lights, it's quite stunning to see from end to end where the river runs through the valley and
Mm.
how the energy flows. It's it's quite powerful if you really sit down and think about it. Um, how water is, and yeah, it's just quite stunning.
Nice. So as you find yourself in this sacred healing space now, you begin to meditate once again, going even deeper. And as you meditate, your mind goes back to the day that you were doing your session and you saw that spirit there, that dark shadow, whatever you saw by the door. And I want you to just look at it with fresh eyes now. And what is it you're noticing about that presence there in your space?
Um, I'm getting a sense of curiosity from them. They're just curious what I'm doing. Um, nothing nothing evil, nothing dark. Just curiosity. Um,
Okay. And is it one or more uh, energies or consciousnesses?
it's actually just one, and as pre-session, I'm pretty sure I have a feeling that it is the energy of the building owner.
Of the former owner?
Yeah, he has a hat that he always wore, and so I see this hat on this darkness.
Uh-huh. Okay. So ask that darkness, is that you, and use his name.
Is that you, John? So I got an answer of no.
Okay. Ask him if he is here for malicious purposes.
Are you here? No, no, he's not. He keeps showing me this necklace, and it looks like it has like a tooth on it. Um,
Okay.
but I don't remember John ever wearing a necklace like that.
Okay. So ask him, what does this necklace, what is the significance of this necklace?
I'm getting a vision of a crab. I,
Okay. And ask him, what is that significance?
he was a crabber. Um, yeah, he was a crabber.
That was his occupation?
Yeah. Um, and in the necklace, what's really standing out are these red beads. Um, there's only two on each side.
And ask him, what do they signify? What's up with those?
Indian.
Ask him if he was a Native Indian.
No. Uh-uh.
No? Okay. Ask him how he got here so far inland. Why is he in this area?
He said he's from north.
North?
Yeah, that's all he's. And I'm getting visions of like Eskimos and stuff. I don't know if that's me getting in the way though. Just when I think of North Indian. Um,
Ask him if he is of indigenous um, lineage or heritage.
yes.
Okay, indigenous. Okay. And then ask him how long ago or in what year did he die?
1978.
1978. Okay. And why is he here in this location? You're in Wenatchee, right?
He said a woman.
Ah, okay. Ask him what was involved with that. Was that a love interest?
Yeah. He's. I'm envisioning him with tears, like a heartbreak, kind of. So whether he left a woman uh, and came here, or whether he came for a woman. It's kind
Ask him which. Did he come here to be with a woman?
I'm getting in my way here.
Okay. Just relax again. Take a breath. Come out of your head and into your belly. And just ask him to tell you more about himself.
He's showing me visions of what appears to be a mother figure, and they're up ice fishing. Um, you got the heavy coats and very happy. She looks very very weathered, but beautiful at the same time. Um, where he comes from is small. He came down here for his dreams, just to get out of where he was. And then he met her, and that's what kept him here. So he didn't return. So whether the heartbreak it was leaving his mother, or something happened with whoever was here that kept him from up there, there's definite heartbreak from that.
Okay. And so ask him how he died. What happened?
Just, he just says age
And how old was he?
89.
Okay. And what is he doing here in your space, in this building?
He he said just peeking, just like whether he roams around.
Okay.
Uh, it's like he says that I just want to see what you're doing. you know, you're doing some fancy things with your hands, and I just thought I'd peek in,
Uh-huh.
make sure you're okay.
Nice.
Yeah, not sure if I want him to go now.
Right? That's why we always investigate.
I know. I like you.
Yeah. So is there, what what can we do for him? Or is there a collaboration, or what would you or he like to do about this situation?
So pulling out my coaching techniques, I thought I'd coach a little. A
Mhm.
little. Um, he's like, why move on? Why move to where? Why move again? You know,
So he's happy where he is, you mean?
it's not that he's happy. I think that he's just unsure. He again, he mentions leaving where he was before,
Mm.
and then the heartbreak, showing me heartbreak, and then why move again. I'm gonna ask him about what's heartbreaking about leaving and moving on.
Mhm.
He says he's watched over this space for a while. I think I'm gonna go in and thank him for that and let him know it's okay to move on.
Is it also okay if he stays?
He's ready to know that it's okay to move on. I think I shouldn't say I think, but what I'm noticing is when he left, wherever he left from up north, maybe it wasn't okay. Maybe that he was asked to stay. And so he's having a hard time leaving where he's stayed,
Mm.
is the message I'm getting. I asked him if he wanted to hang out a little longer. he, uh, he does.
Okay.
We may move him on later, but I'll just keep checking in with him.
Okay. Is there anything else you want to talk with him before we could move on to another one of the spaces to see what's there, like at Industry 3?
Um, I'm just gonna go in for a second and thank him and appreciate him for what he's doing.
Okay. Take your time. Let me know.
I'm going to ask him for a sign that if he wants to talk. He he'll let himself be known. So yeah, I think he's good. Yeah,
Okay.
we'll just check on him.
Okay. So let's go on over to Industry 3 and go into that back area, that back room. And what energy do you sense there now?
So as soon as you come up the stairs and you take that right, I don't know if you were able to go back there, and as you start to wander through, it's just immediately when you hit that back area in our spa, it the energy starts to change a little bit as you approach this door. Um, and so in this door, it's a definite outline of some would say a rocket, some would say a eerie ghost. And so as you walk through, immediately there's one section of a room, um, and then there's another doorway to the far back room. And in this first section, it holds, like, the heater, the air. Um, and now I'm entering in the back area, and it's just this unusual presence that it's it hits you when you walk in, and then it's like it allows you to settle a little bit. When you're looking at this space, it has a break in the cement that creates this X, this big X.
And so, are you noticing, sensing that presence as you explore it today?
As I'm standing in the room, it's like the lights are just flickering. I have quite the imagination, so I could be wherever I want to be sometimes, I think.
Yeah. So, ask the presence to come and show itself that we just want to talk. Our goal is not to be threatening, but we are interested and curious. And what happens?
I'm immediately feeling this heaviness, and to me, this side is it's like female.
Okay.
Um, and this side is also past. I'm seeing this vision of this dark, like, city cloud, but it has like these little sparkles in it. It's like almost like darkness, but see how attractive I am? you
Uh,
know. Um, yeah, um, I'm definitely getting a hit in the head. This female past.
okay. Ask it, is it, why is it there?
It asked me why I'm here. uh, you know, I I had to step out of my way. It was like, and then when I did, it just said, "Why are you here?" It's
Uh-huh.
almost snarky.
And how did you respond?
Well, I'm kind of snarky myself. I just smirked. I feel a definite energy swarming.
Uh-huh. So did you answer it that you,
Every time I ask it a question, it responds. What's your name? What's your name?
okay.
What are you
Ask,
doing?
Ask it if it was ever a human. Have you been a human?
Immediately it said no.
Okay. Ask it if it's, um, I don't know. What is it? What can it tell us about itself?
I got immediately, it's a collected energy.
Okay. All right. So, and ask it again, what purpose does it serve in being there?
It returned with, what purpose are you serving being here?
Okay.
Ooh.
So I have the feeling it's not very intelligent. It's probably not a very elevated kind of being.
Well, that's good to know. That's easy to work with, right?
um, yeah. So ask it, does it have malicious intent?
I responded with a question back.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So,
I'm gonna hold on. I I I, I actually, because I asked it again, do you have malicious intent? And then they returned the question, and I said no. And it was kind of like it turned a little bit more vulnerable and said no. So, and I get a sense of fear.
okay. Ask it if it's afraid.
Just because I'm asking it questions that says yes. So it's like it's being noticed.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Um, okay. What else would you like to know about this?
So I asked why it's so creepy back in this area, and it's it it says that it's throwing out a presence uh, of creepy and terrifying. You know, that first immediate feeling. It's like when we go back, we startle it just as much as it startles us.
Hmm.
So it's like this energy that's it's been there, but every time we go back there, we startle it. um,
Okay.
I'm not sure
So,
what so
okay. So could you tell it that you don't plan to harm it, that it's safe, and that if it could just keep nicer energy back there, then I don't know, if it's okay with you, it could stay there if it didn't exude this creepy energy. Is that okay with you? Is that, I mean, there's
yeah,
that too.
yeah. It mentioned feeding. I'm not sure where that came from.
Eating,
Feeding. It's like,
feed. Oh, ask it if it's feeder entity. Like, is it a whisperer or a feeder? Is it just trying to suck energy?
yeah, that's interesting. Yes.
Okay,
Uh,
yeah. So it
but
wants to scare you so that you exude energy so that it can eat your energy.
beautiful, brilliant. Uh, let's change that
Yeah.
because
Well,
to
that's
you,
their nature. I mean, that would be their nature. So there's nothing to change there. But either you have to stop being afraid so that it doesn't work. That would be maybe the easiest because then they'd have to go somewhere else to feed.
yeah, but I can't control everybody that goes to that back room
Uh,
and checks on it. So what in trying to explain to somebody, well, you can't be afraid when you go back here, because it feeds off you.
Right. It's going to eat your energy.
Yeah, I'm
Um,
not sure people would understand that.
okay.
It keeps showing me these sparkly, glittery um, things, and it's city like cloud.
Mm-hmm. So ask it why it's showing you that.
Oh, it's just saying, aren't I pretty? Aren't I pretty?
Mhm.
um, is there a way to clear that out?
Um, you could try. Do you want to try to gather your energy and, or you could begin just by saying, we are going to clear this out. Would you like to just move somewhere else? Because they could go anywhere, they could go anywhere else and get that energy. They could leave on their own.
So maybe if we, like I did in this space, cleared the room and warded it, identify it as a room, a useful room.
Okay, try that.
So I'm building the selenite towers. And I'm moving it out of this room. It could be in the above space. They could deal with it. Um, that's it's probably rude, but the heaviness and has gone away.
Okay. So now as move around that room in your imagination, how is the energy feeling there?
I feel a more sense of control of that space. To where when I enter that space, it's not going to be so much of an alert. A system alert is what I get.
Okay.
And I'll check in on it when I actually go over there, just to see if that data is correct.
Okay. Does that feel good for today?
Yeah, it does. I think that I'm gonna possibly go over there and throw out some stones, um, do my thing there just to secure that space, so it can be utilized and comfortable.
Yeah. Excellent. Yeah. And now that you know what it is, you at least can go in there, you know, with your mass and not be frightened and, know what you're dealing with um, and then continue to clear that space. Okay. Is there anything else to do about that space today?
I for now I'm gonna throw up old school bubble and pyramid around it.
Okay.
Fill it with energy.
And how's that feeling?
It feels good. I mean, standing in that space. Usually, I wouldn't spend a lot of time in this space by myself, and everybody knows that.
Uh-huh.
Um,
Yeah.
I'm actually, uh, I'm actually picturing myself in an hazmat suit and throwing fumes everywhere. Clear the space.
Uh-huh. Okay. Okay, so we've come to the end of our time today. And remembering all that you've experienced in this session and allowing the subconscious mind to continue to bring you insight, wisdom, and understanding in the days and weeks to come. As I count from 1 to 5, returning here to the present moment, refreshed, alert, and aware. 1, 2, 3, coming up. 4, aware of this time and space. And 5, fully alert and aware and returned here to the present moment.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was a great journey. Yeah, good exploration.
You did that really well. And I bet that feels more settled to know what those things are.
Yeah, I also, with me on my path, it feels good to know what it feels like to actually do the work. So that guidance was very appreciative, definitely.
Good.
Understanding that, I do have that and I can connect in that kind of way. I just, like I said, I gotta actually step out of my way and let it all
Mhm.
happen. Um,
Yeah.
but also, I liked that I was able to recognize when I was in my way,
Uh-huh.
and I think that that's a huge deal. To know that when you're using that 7% instead of that 10,000% of your sensories,
Right.
so yeah, that was quite powerful for me, for sure.
Excellent. Excellent. Yeah, on many levels, because not only did we clear the room, but like you said, you've been wanting to be able to do this kind of work. And now, going in there and seeing it this clearly, I think has been really helpful.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That's exciting that I um, got that sense, where I thought that I would never have it. And uh,
Hmm.
yeah, that's exciting to me. So definitely.
Yay.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Thank you so much.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
And definitely be in touch and let me know, like when you go over to Industry 3 and you go in the room, I want to hear how you feel.
Me too. I might just sneak over there later on today, but
Yeah.
just get a sense of it. But that was definitely the vision was there. Yeah, I think going in and clearing that space would probably be quite powerful. But the thing is after this session, I feel a sense of more confidence and trusting what I'm seeing, and rather than going, "Oh no, I didn't see that,"
Right.
like
Right.
I'll do,
Ignore that.
yeah, using that 7%. So definitely, I will feel a little bit stronger in that area as well after the session for sure. So
Cool. Awesome.
yeah,
Okay. Well, text me for sure or email me and let me know what you find when you go over there.
definitely. Thank you so much, Mary Lee.
Okay. Thank you. And we'll be in touch.
Yep. Take care.